Scientists found a group of brain cells that activate right before you give up, and they don't fire because you've actually run out of options. They fire because of something else entirely, and once you know what it is, quitting starts to look very different. You felt this before, working on something for weeks, hitting wall after wall, and then one day the thought arrives, this isn't working. I should stop. It doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like a fact greater than. Greater than. Here's what almost nobody knows. That feeling isn't actually measuring whether your effort is working. It's measuring something else. How much your brain believes the effort will eventually pay off. Change the belief, and the exact same struggle suddenly becomes bearable again. Greater than. There's an experiment that proves this in the strangest, most direct way possible. It doesn't involve people. It involves rats in water, and what happened to them changed how scientists understand giving up. Decades ago, researchers ran a simple test. They placed rats in a container of water, with no way to climb out. Left alone, the rats would swim for a while, searching for an exit that didn't exist, and then, predictably, they'd stop. They'd stop swimming, stop struggling, and simply float, having concluded, in whatever way a rat concludes things, that escape was impossible. Greater than. Here's where it gets interesting. In a second version of the same test, researchers let the rats swim for a bit, and then briefly rescued them, lifted them out, let them rest, then placed them back in the same water. Greater than. Nothing about the actual situation had changed. The water was exactly as inescapable as before, but something in the rats had changed. This time, they swam dramatically longer before giving up, in some versions of the experiment, several times longer. Greater than. The only difference was that brief rescue. It had planted something the first group never had. The expectation that effort might lead somewhere. Not certainty, just a possibility. And that possibility alone was enough to completely change how long they were willing to keep going. Greater than. Researchers later found something similar happening inside the brain itself. Right before an animal gives up on a difficult task, a specific group of brain cells becomes highly active. These cells release a chemical that suppresses dopamine, the same chemical tied to motivation and the drive to keep pursuing a reward. In other words, giving up isn't simply running out of willpower. It's a specific biological event, triggered by the brain's read on whether continued effort is worth it. Greater than. And that's the part that should change. How you think about every time you've wanted to quit. Your brain isn't running a precise calculation of your actual odds of success. It's running an estimate, shaped heavily by whether it has any recent evidence that effort pays off. No evidence, and the system that keeps you going starts shutting down, often long before you've actually run out of real options. Greater than. This is exactly why people so often quit right before a breakthrough, not because the situation was truly hopeless, but because their brain had stopped receiving any signal that it wasn't. The rats that were rescued didn't have an easier task. They just had one small piece of evidence, that swimming might eventually matter, and that was enough to completely rewrite how long they were willing to fight. So what does this actually mean for the things you're tempted to quit? A few principles worth understanding. ***1. The urge to quit is a belief, not a measurement. Greater than. That feeling of, this isn't working, rarely reflects an accurate calculation of your real odds. It reflects your brain's recent evidence about whether effort has been paying off, which is a very different, much less reliable thing. ***2. Small proof matters more than big proof. Greater than. The rescued rats didn't get certainty. They got one brief piece of evidence, that effort could lead somewhere. You don't need overwhelming proof that you'll succeed. You need small, recent evidence that your effort is doing something, anything, even if the final outcome is still far away. **3. Long stretches without feedback are exactly when this system misfires. Greater than the brain's giving up mechanism is most active during the parts of any goal that produce the least visible progress, which is precisely when people abandon things that were actually about to turn a corner. **** 4. You can manufacture the evidence your brain is looking for. **** Greater than since the system runs on recent evidence, not long-term certainty, you can deliberately create small wins, a finished paragraph, a single rep, a 5-minute start, specifically to feed your brain the signal that effort still matters here. ***5. Wanting to quit is not proof that quitting is correct. Greater than. Sometimes stopping really is the right call, but the desire to quit, on its own, isn't evidence of that. It's evidence that your brain's belief in your progress has run low, which is fixable, and doesn't always mean the goal itself is wrong. So the next time you're standing in the middle of something hard, feeling that unmistakable pull to stop, remember the rats. The water wasn't different for the ones who kept swimming longer. Their belief was greater than. You don't need certainty that this will work. You need one small, recent piece of evidence that it might. Greater than. So today, if you're in the middle of something you've been wanting to quit, find one small win inside it, however small, and let that be your evidence. Just for today. Greater than. If this changed how you think about giving up, hit subscribe. This channel is built for people done trusting the urge to quit at face value, and ready to look closer before they walk away. I'll see you in the next one.